What's up, locker room fans? We're here in the locker room. Amax here, going solo just for this one, just for a little bit. We got a quick little show for you guys today. It's just been a mixture of some stuff. We've been super busy. Joaquin and I, as you know, we work with Grants Recreation, so we've been starting our youth volleyball league, our flag football, tackle football, adult volleyball, fall ball, adult softball. So we've been super busy out there trying to get those things all started up. We've also been busy with the show, trying to get you guys some extra coverage, some footage, some extra work for you guys to see. And so today's show is just going to be a mixture of some stuff we've been working on, stuff from the past a little bit, and some new stuff too. So we'll have some GHS Boys Football post-game interviews from the first game. We have some GHS Girls Soccer Clips and little video highlights there. We have a New Mexico United player, Sam Hamilton. We have an interview with him, so that was really cool. Also really cool, we have the new Lobos women's volleyball coach, John Newman-Gonchar, and we have an interview with him, so that was super big. So we're trying to expand our brand, but also sports all over New Mexico. So we've just been reaching out to a lot of people and trying to get bigger, trying to grow. So that's all going to be in the little show today. Also, shout out to Joaquin's son, Andres Torres. He's out there in Albuquerque right now. I guess they have a little baseball tournament of some sort now that he plays baseball for Luna Community College Rough Riders. So good luck to him with his new baseball squad. And also shout out to my son, Miles. Miles is playing flag football, and he has been doing great so far. He is the quarterback for one of the flag football teams, and first game I was super proud of him. He was completing some passes, and he's a lefty, so he's got a nice little arm on him, and he was getting in there on defense and pulling flags. You could say he had about 7-8 tackles. Well, they pull the flag, but it's a tackle. So shout out to Miles, and hope you guys enjoy this little show. We'll be back soon. Just stick with us, and thanks.
We're here with Coach Rio Thompson as the Pirates move to 1-0 on the early season. Coach, a lot of good things, a lot of things you need to work on. We couldn't stop talking about your skilled players and all the weapons you have on offense, but you got to give it up for your offensive line.
Yes.
For blocking and all that. But in your eyes, what do we need to work on to get ready for Gallup next week?
I think if we clean up some of our drop passes, maybe some of the penalties that we had, I think that that's going to help polish the diamond that we're working toward.
That's great. You have both your running backs over 100 yards with multiple touchdowns. Brandon Furby and his huge arm chucking it down the field.
Yes, sir.
As a head coach, you got to be happy with what you saw tonight.
I was very pleased with a lot of things as a head coach, and we're always looking to get better, striving towards greatness.
Great. So a great win here at Zuni. We saw a lot of good things. We were talking up in the booth, Coach. Every tackle on your defense, there's 5 or 6 Pirates. That's what you want to see as
Absolutely,
a coach.
yes.
We're swarming the ball, and great to see. Is there any news on the game with Gallup next week? Are we going to have our new field? Is it going to be on the road?
That's to be determined. I haven't heard anything yet. I'll be able to let you know on Monday, though. So,
All right.
Yeah, I'll talk to
All right, so the locker room's here in Zuni with Coach Rio Thompson. Pirates are 1-0. We'll see you guys next week, either in Gallup or at our brand new field. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you very much.
Good job.
All right, we're here in the locker room with Isaiah Johnson of the Grants Pirates, running back. Now, congratulations, Isaiah. You guys just had your first win of the season.
Yes, sir.
You rushed for over 100 yards. You had, I think it was 8 touchdowns. 4 of them were called back.
Yes, sir.
So how does that feel? How does that feel in your first game?
I feel like all the hard work in the summer paid off, I guess. It's the beginning of the season. Came out and did what we had to do, and I'm looking forward to more. I'm not satisfied.
That's what we like to hear. That's what the fans like to hear, I'm sure. Now, despite everything else, what are some of the goals you guys are looking forward to for the rest of the season?
We want to take it game by game, watch film, next team we play, see where we go from there.
Awesome. And then, so I was in the booth. We were doing some play-by-play, and the whole game I was just saying, this guy is a beast. He's a beast. They couldn't wrap you up. So being that force, and then how you were last year, how does that feel that now you're a senior? And I know you want to go for that ship, right?
Yes, sir. I feel like last year did pretty good. This year's my last year. I got to go out with the bang, see what I can do.
That's right. And so last thing before we let you go here, can you wait to get onto that new field and run all over that field like you ran over here tonight?
Yeah, I'm excited for that new field. Our field last year wasn't the best, but we still did what we had to do on it.
Well, there you have it, locker room fans. Great job, Isaiah. You guys did awesome.
Yes, sir.
Good individual performance. And we'll see you guys at the next game. All right, locker room fans, we're here with the other beast that we were talking about in the booth. Okay, Mr. Hawker is here. You've seen him on the show several times now. Now, Mr. Hawker, you had an impressive game yourself. You were like the dual threat. You had some receiving, you had some rushing, also over 100 yards in rushing. How was that in your first game?
It felt amazing to come out this season and do it. Just like last season, just getting those numbers up again.
And so, what's the transition been like so far? How last year it seemed like you played a lot of quarterback last year, and then now you're doing a lot more slot, wide receiver, but also rushing the ball. How's that transition been for you?
It's been good to me. I actually like it a little better than playing quarterback. It makes me a little more versatile.
Right.
Makes me a little more, a little more better for the team, helping them out.
Right. They're able to use what you've got. Use those tools that you've got. And so, after seeing tonight's game, what are some of the goals you guys are looking forward to this season?
Obviously, is keeping this intensity up that we had tonight. Just keeping those stops on defense. We had a shutout, so we want to keep that going, and then we want to just keep improving each and every week so that way we can get to November.
Right. Now, I know the fans were pumped. We were pumped. It was an exciting first game. Congrats to you, Mr. Hawker. Thanks for coming on with us, and good luck the rest of the way. All right, so on the phone we have Sam Hamilton of New Mexico United. Sam, thank you for joining us. Thank you for taking out your time to give us a little interview today.
Yeah, thank you for making the time for me.
All right, and so you were born, raised, and played some college soccer in Denver, known as the Mile High City. Now you play in another similar high elevation city. Are the two similar in any ways? Is there any advantages? And how are you liking Albuquerque?
Yeah, man, I'm loving Albuquerque. Well, first of all, I didn't realize that they both were. I didn't think that Albuquerque was as high in elevation as it is. So when I learned that, I was excited to come down here, because I think it really helps. It's advantageous to train in, and then also to have your home field in,
Right.
And yeah, and I really like the city. I think the people here has really accepted our organization, and I really enjoyed it so far.
Awesome. And so you're mainly known as a defender and midfielder. So to someone who may not know much about soccer, can you explain exactly like what your job is?
Yeah. Well, so this year I've made the transition to playing center back, and as a center back, I think you have a lot of roles. Your primary job is to keep the ball out of the back of your net. But the way we play and the system that we're trying to implement, we're asking a lot of our center backs. We're asking them to be able to play and start the attack, and to be calm, to be calm when you're on the ball. And I think those are kind of my main roles, is to be simple on the ball and to keep the ball out of the back of our net.
Right. And so also you have You have spent time in the MLS and the USL. Do you think having that experience has translated well for United's first season?
Yeah, I think so for sure. I think regardless of any career that you're in, whether it's soccer or something in the business world or as an owner, I think the more experiences that you can get, the more knowledge that you can accumulate, I think the more valuable it becomes. And my experience in MLS is definitely translated into my role on this team, and also the experiences I've had with other USL teams. I spent some time at Phoenix. I spent some time with the Switchbacks in Colorado, and I think both of those experiences have proved really valuable because I went to Phoenix during their first year, so I knew what it would look like a little bit just from an early team's perspective.
Right.
But yeah, I think it's really helped me and helped the group.
Awesome, definitely, and yeah, that's actually what I was going to ask you about next. Like like you had said, if you had spent the first year when Phoenix came about, and so when you signed with New Mexico United, that's what I was going to ask about. Like what your feelings were like excited for the opportunity, or maybe a little unsure since the United team was brand new, or was it just great all out?
I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. I was like, I really had to think through coming down here. I wanted to make sure that it was going to be the right step for my career. And
right.
When I met Peter Travisani, well, first of all, he called me, and just to have somebody like him, who's so passionate about the group, and he's just so full of energy, and he has such a big purpose for this team and why he wants to be involved. And so when I talked to him and listened to him and understood why he wanted to bring a professional team to Albuquerque, I knew that he was going to do everything in his power to give us the right resources to be successful, and that he was going to bring his very best as a leader and an owner to the organization, regardless of what happened. And so that was the first part of it. And then I met Troy, and I spent a lot of time talking to Troy, and I just his ideas, how he sees the world, how he sees the game, a lot of that stuff aligned with what I believe in.
Right.
And I just knew that he was somebody I could get behind. And yeah, so I was so having those two guys at the front of the organization just really, really sold me and made me really excited to come down here. And I'm just blessed and humbled to see how well the community has taken us in. And I think we got to get some more results at the end of this year, but we're gonna get them. And I'm really, really excited about where this team's going.
Awesome. And I know the fans are excited and everybody, and I bet it is great having those two leaders to have helped get you to say, you know what, I like that. I'm gonna do that. That's following your career, like you said. And so, what's it like playing for such an electric crowd at Isotopes Park? How does it feel knowing how much not only Albuquerque but the entire state of New Mexico has rallied behind you guys and truly supports you guys?
Like I said, man, it's been humbling,
right.
To have so many people so committed to our cause, so early and relentlessly, to have our fans drive to Colorado twice, to have them drive to drive or fly to Dallas, and then the flight out to Minnesota, and then all that stuff was just incredible, to be a part of and to see how caring they really are for us. And then the environment at the lab at Isotopes Park it's a blessing, man. It's so every single time we get to play out there, it's just I'm just taken back at what an atmosphere this town has created in that place, and just, you know, that it's exciting and fun to be a part of, and just like honestly a magical. It's magical how fast our venue became special. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. And so you guys are on the road tomorrow, and then your next home match is September 1st, I believe. And so as the season gets a little closer to ending, is the team doing anything different to prepare for these upcoming matches as you guys, narrow down the season a little bit more?
I wouldn't say we're doing anything too radically different. You know, I think we have a good structure of how we prepare for games and how we learn from games. So none of that stuff is really changing. I think we've made a couple tweaks to our system, just based on personnel. And yeah, man, I think the only thing that might be a little bit different is just going into the back end of the year, the games just get more important, you know? So I think you'll see just a higher level of focus and a higher level of commitment from the guys to make sure we get results these last 10 games or so.
Right. And I know I'm rooting for you. Our show, The Locker Room, is rooting for you. I know all of New Mexico is rooting for you guys. Before we say bye, Sam, do you have any advice, words of wisdom for up-and-coming soccer players or student athletes in general?
I think for me that when I kind of figured out myself as a soccer player is just like when I really committed to it. So I think like the biggest piece of advice I'd give to somebody who's young or somebody who's trying to become a pro is just to do the extra bit every chance you get. You know, the more you can touch the ball, the more you can get in the gym, all that stuff adds up, you know? And so I think just take advantage of every day and make the most of every single opportunity you're given, no matter how big or how small.
I believe that is very wise. And once again, Sam, thank you very much for taking your time out to talk with me. I know you're probably super busy, but I appreciate you taking the time out. So from all of us in the locker room, good luck to you, yourself, and to the team the rest of the season. And all we can say is go United. So.
Yeah, well, thank you so much for your time, man. I really appreciate what you're doing for the team and the community.
All right, well, thank you, and we'll talk to you soon. We'll be rooting you guys on.
All right, cool.
All right,
thank you.
Thanks.
Have a great day.
You too. Bye.
Bye.
You're here in the locker room, guys. We have the new head coach of the UNM Lobo Volleyball Girls, John Newman-Gonchar. John, thank you once again for taking the time out to have this interview with us. I know you're super busy, and you guys have already started off, but once again, thanks for coming on.
No problem. I appreciate you guys being willing to dive in and get to know our program a little bit better. I'm excited to have a conversation with you guys.
Yes, and so I know you've probably heard it from everywhere, but once again, we just want to, from us here in the locker room, we would just want to say congratulations once again, becoming the new head volleyball coach. If I'm correct, that's your first collegiate head coaching stint, and you are now the 10th head volleyball coach at UNM?
That is correct. You nailed it.
And then, so welcome to New Mexico. And so how's the transition, the change been going so far, and how are you enjoying the area?
Yeah, I'm loving it. You know, we got here in late January, and we had some work to do. You know, we had a recruiting class we had to kind of get organized with. We had a lot of training to get caught up on as we try to make shifts in the way that we're playing the game, and we dove head first. You know, it's one of those things when you take over, you don't know what you don't know, and it's been an awesome transition. And this team is just comprised of some really special young women. They want to do something that hasn't been done here in a long time, and that's win the Mountain West Conference and represent the University of New Mexico at the NCAA tournament.
Yes, and that's definitely what the fans are hoping for, I know, and especially you guys and the girls as well. And so speaking of new, so you have 3 new coaches, 7 or 8 new faces on the team, a new director of operations. How is everyone meshing together? And
Yeah.
other than
Yeah.
practice and being on the road, like what are some other team building things you guys are doing?
Yeah, that's a good question. So, first, in regards to how is everything coming together, I consider myself a collector of really good people, and I consider myself somebody that just wants to be around really good people, good human beings that work hard, that have the right mentality for putting the athletes first and their experience first, and not ego-driven coaches. And I put together, I think, an amazing staff with first my top assistant coach, Jesse Tupac. He's a guy that I've known for a really long time, and he's great with setters and great with offense. And then April Sanchez, who was up at Idaho State, she's with us working with our passers and our liberos and getting our defensive systems in place. And then our new director of ops, Ariel Sanchez, is just fantastic. She's all over all the logistics, the day-to-day operations, all the travel that comes into place. And something we're doing with our team, is we just want to spend time together. And so, we've had a few team dinners. We've had a kind of a fun game night. We do a lot of different things that kind of just get us to get to know each other, because we're so new to everybody. Everyone is new to everyone, and there's a lot there. There's a lot of meat on the bone for us to kind of just dive into our relationships, because we know at the end of the day, of course, how you perform on the court is gonna drive your execution on the court. But really, you got to trust the person to your left and the person to your right in volleyball, and so it's the ultimate team game. And so we need to get to know our teammates and deeply invest in those relationships.
Exactly. I totally understand. So it sounds like everything is going well, and then so like you had said, ultimately you want to win the Mountain West. You want to get back to the NCAA tourney appearance. So I believe the last appearance was in 2010.
Yeah, it is correct. Yeah.
And then,
we've got some big shoes to fill. The team has had a lot of success, and it's been a while since that success has kind of been it's come to fruition here. And so we put together a pretty tough schedule for I think a team. I'm not going to use the word young. What I'm going to say is an inexperienced team playing together. When you have 7 brand new athletes and you have returning 8 athletes and you have 3 brand new coaches, I think there's just a lack of experience for everybody being with each other. We go up against head-to-head against some teams that have 6 or 7 seniors on their roster with coaches that have been in place for the last 8 years at these programs. And it takes us a little while to kind of, it's going to take a little while for the ship to turn here. And that's what I told my team just this weekend. I think we came up a little bit short, where I thought we could have been better. And I think our team feels the exact same way. And we said, hey, we are going to get this thing going, but we can't expect it to be at the flick of a light switch. It's going to be something that takes some time and some investment. And we're playing the game better. We just came up short. And that's going to happen in athletics.
Right, definitely. And the Lobos, they just finished. You guys just finished the Borderland Invitational with the loss to New Mexico State this past Saturday. New Mexico State, who made it to the bracket last year. How was your first little taste or glimpse of the Lobo Aggie rivalry there?
I loved it, man. I loved it. It was it's a special state, and this state loves their athletics, and whether you're on this side of the fence or you're on the other side of the fence when it comes to it's a wonderful rivalry, and I think they got us this year, but hey, for you, and we're coming back, and we're going to be stronger, and we're going to be a better volleyball program a year from now, and that's what this is all about. And so I appreciate all of our fans that turned to our exit match, and match with it, and we had great. They got after our team. They got after me a little bit too, and that's what I expect. I expect us to go into hostile environments when there's an in-state rivalry. So I thought it was great.
Awesome. And then so also congrats to senior on your team, Lauren Twitty, to making that Borderland All-Tournament team. Now, if I'm correct, she is one of 2 seniors on the team?
One of 3. So we have 2 hitters, and then we have a setter, Maddie.
Okay, and then so how big of a leadership role are these ladies playing on the team right now, being the older ones, you know?
Yeah, they have a big role when it comes to leadership. They have a big role when it comes to setting the standard and setting the expectation. It's volleyball is kind of one of these deals where, you have a 22-year-old athlete on the court sometimes. You have a senior, and then you got an 18-year-old, and sometimes that 18-year-old has never played with an athlete older than her because, the club system is in such a way that you don't really play with players that are much older than you, if that makes sense. And so it's been a huge kind of learning curve for our young athletes to see, wow, this is how Lauren does it. Wow, this is what Ty does. And wow, this is how Maddie, functions every day and comes in and brings her best to the court. Whether she had a bad day at school or had an issue off camp, at home or something, they come in and they work hard and they set the standard. Once we get to practice, there's no drama. Everything that happened in your day is behind you because we need to go and get better. And I think that's what these seniors do a great job with.
That's awesome. That is great to hear that leadership from them. So next up, you guys have this Friday and Saturday you'll be on the road for the Seattle Red Hawk tournament in Seattle, where you'll face Oregon State, Gonzaga, Seattle, who also has a longtime great coach, and Mr. James Finley. How is preparation going for these matches and upcoming?
Yeah, I think for us, we identify each week, whether win, lose, or it doesn't matter to me. Each week we're going to find 3 areas of the game that we've got to go get better with, and we've identified a few things that we need to do with our serving, with our out-of-system attacking, and lastly with our middle blocker distribution, and how often do we set our middles and our quick attackers, and so we're diving in. We just got done with practice. Literally, I just walked out of the gym to take this call, so we're right in the thick of it. We're preparing for what's going to be 3 battles. I mean, these are 3 really good teams that are established, that have been together a long time, and here we come. And we don't mind being the underdog, man. We love to fight, and we're gritty that way. So we're looking forward to it.
Well, I'm excited too. You got me all pumped up with just your answer there. So, lastly, before I let you go, John, myself and my other co-host, Joaquin, we do this show on the side, but as well as our daily job of running the City of Grant's Recreation Department. And this week we are also starting our youth and adult volleyball leagues. So for our younger youths, do you have any advice or words of wisdom for up-and-coming volleyball players or just student athletes in general?
Yeah. One thing we talk about a lot with our program, and I think it goes across all sports, is we really aren't interested in perfect outcomes. We really are, and that's hard as a coach, because I think all of us want the perfect play. We want the perfect pass, the perfect set, the perfect strike, the perfect home run, but really what I want my athletes to chase, I should say, is perfect effort. And if you come in and you give us perfect effort every day, that outcome will take care of itself, and you don't have to get caught up in it. And so we tell our athletes that every day, and that's the only words of wisdom really that I feel. Hey, this is across the board. Whatever sport you're playing, whatever it is you are, is let's get rid of this idea of be perfect, and let's just bring perfect effort to all it is that we do.
Awesome. I love it, John, and I'm excited for you. I'm excited for the whole Lobo volleyball program. So thank you once again for taking the time out to chat with me. I know you just got out of practice, but we are also, thank you to Allison as well for setting this up. We can't wait to go and see you guys compete at the pit, and we wish you guys all the best of luck, and go Lobos.
Thank you so much. We appreciate you helping to tell our story.
All right. Thank you. Have a good day.
Okay. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, Allison. Bye.
I see her. I see her. I see her. I see her. She's 15. She's 15. She's 15. Come on. She's 15. Let's go, Brenda!
I've been saying that ever since I was young.
Well, yeah. I thought LJ has a JLB.
Yeah, bro, you gotta get all hyped.